1250 is the Nicolay Law fan talk and text line. And I'm just like, we did this a little bit during State Fair, right? We were out at State Fair. We did Thursday, Friday, then we did the whole next week. We did 7 straight days. And while we were doing it at State Fair, I said to somebody, is this a trial? Is this a test run? And nobody really had an answer for me. And then they're like, hey, Mitch, there's a programming change and we need you to do middays. And I said, for how long? And they said, for a week. And then they said, until further notice. And then they said a minimum of X number of weeks. And so we're here. And we are going to provide the best possible live and local content for you. We love all our brothers and sisters who podcast. In fact, Camille Davis is going to be our first guest at 11:40 today. And she is our favorite, right? She's one of our favorites here at the station. She's our little sister. She does Bucks podcasting. She does WWE podcasting. She's just starting a new Packers podcast. So we're going to talk mostly Packers with her today. But we love all our brothers and sisters who do podcasting. But podcasting is a little bit different than what we do. It's not exactly live. It's editable. You can get out the ums and ahs. And if I mispronounce Jameis Winston's name, you can edit that to Jameis Winston. Well, when you're on the radio, you can't. When you call Micah Parsons Chandler Parsons by accident, because again, you're an NBA knucklehead. You can't edit. You can edit that out if you're a podcast. You can't exactly edit that out if you are live on the air. And we are live with you Monday through Friday. This week, Tuesday through Friday. Hope everybody had a great day yesterday. We are live 11 to 2, middays with Thunder, taking you straight up to Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's with our favorite, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. So let's get going. Had a great time with Mason on the Mason Crosby Show. We don't know exactly what that's going to look like moving forward. I think the plan for right now, Mason and I have talked about it, is I'll jump in at 10. And so he and Tommy will do the first hour. I'll jump in for the second hour. And then I'll just continue with this show from 11 to 2. I mentioned Camille Davis coming on the show at 11:40. Jared Fialco, he's with ABC 12. He's going to join the show around 1 o'clock. We're going to talk Brewers. We're going to talk Badgers. We're going to talk Packers. We're going to talk college football. We're going to talk whatever else is on our mind when it comes to the world of sports and the world of Wisconsin. We're going to be local. We're going to talk to big sports sponsors on this show. We're going to talk to sports bars and sports restaurants. Anywhere where sports exists in our community, we are going to talk about sports. I think when I was, I remember when the Packers won the Super Bowl, that was my junior year in college. I was a junior at Madison. And I remember like the craziest thing that my friends who weren't from Wisconsin, who when we would watch the local news, like the 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, the thing they were most like just insane, like how does this even exist about, is that every news report had the Packers and the Super Bowl in New Orleans and everything going on. But then it also had a feature on the grandma down the street who dressed her little puppy up in a Packers sweater, right? Every single news report found a grandma who dressed her little tiny dog that she lived with in her Packers sweater. And all my friends from outside of DC and outside of Chicago and outside of Minnesota and outside of Boston and outside of New York who went to Madison and were Badgers fans with me were like, what earth do we live in that this is our earth, that this is what we're experiencing? And I would just turn to them and say, you don't understand the passion of the Packers fan. Like Bostonians, there's a similarity with the Red Sox. The Red Sox are number one, and there's a craziness. And New Yorkers are crazy, and people from Philly are crazy. But like the level of that you're still a fan. And we use that word fanatic. I know Andy Herman uses that word fanatic all the time. You're still a fan when you live in those cities. It's different in Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, and this talk about the power of friendship. We're all family. We are all family here in Wisconsin, whether you still live here or whether you haven't lived here for 30 or 40 years. We, as Brewers fans, are are family. We as Packers fans are family. We as Badgers fans are family. So a guy like Charlie Usen, whose father is one of the menschiest mensches on earth, like just an absolutely great guy. Ted is a great guy. He brought us Wendy's when we were begging for it on a Friday afternoon. Yeah. It was absolutely delicious. And did everything right in raising this great guy, Charlie, except for his sports fandom, right? Except that Charlie's still part of the family. Like, we still embrace, and Charlie might not want that Packers hug, right? He's still a bigger Bears fan than he is. Like, he's, because of his Bears fandom, he's still a little anti-Packers, as opposed to, he's pretty pro Cubs and pro Brewers, as long as they're not playing each other. So he'll take a hug any day from a Brewers fan. He's not sure about that Packers hug, but Wisconsinites hug him regardless, because we are family. When we are cheering on our teams, when we are at AmFam Field and we're up 4-0, and then we're down 8-6 and down and tied 8-8, and like all these crazy things are happening yesterday at the ballpark. And I'll tell you my story. I didn't end up, I was planning to go to the game. It didn't work out, but I still have a crazy story about the game. We are all family here as we embrace our fandom for our teams. We are all family, and that's what sets Wisconsin sports fans apart. Like, there's a camaraderie with other sports fan teams, but there's not family in the same way. I used to say this for years. Like, for years, the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, we used to get together as family to watch Aaron Rodgers every Sunday. And that was great. And we loved Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers was our guy for a long time. Whether you want to admit it or not, he was. But when Brett Favre was the quarterback, it felt like he was on the couch with us, watching the Packers and himself play football, because that's the type of personality he was. And granted, it was before social media, and who knows how Brett Favre's career would have gone if there had been social media, because there were things that it was a different time. And you know what, we can go way back, and you know, I'm sure the 82 Brewers are happy that there wasn't social media, as great as their story is. And we love that documentary. We love the story of the 82 Brewers as well, but it was a different time as well. But we've always been family. So come be a part of the family on Middays with Thunder. I invite you in to be part of my family. I want to be family with you. We can argue, and that doesn't mean family doesn't argue. We can argue about Shelby Miller. We can argue about the use of the bullpen. We can argue about who should be starting at left tackle. We can argue about Kyle Kuzma. We can argue about all the things. We can argue about the Badgers quarterback situation. We can argue about Shaka and his use or lack thereof of the transfer. We can argue about all these things, but I don't know if you know this or not, a lot of family argues. A lot of family get into it with each other. So come be a part of the show. Come be a part of the action right here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, on the Odyssey app. We are on the iHeart app as well. That's right. We are free on the iHeart app. We are on YouTube as well. And Nate Tastic, 28, with the first comment in the dugout. That's right. Our chat on YouTube is called The Dugout. So come sit in the dugout with us and watch the game with us. Be part of the fandom with us. First dugout chat on the new show. Nate Tastic, 28, the winner, but not the only one. So come be a part of it. Come call us or text us. 414-677-1250 is the phone number. 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law Fan talk and text line. Text all day. You can text me during the show. You can text me at 2 a.m. Say, hey, this is for Thunder. You're an idiot. I know I'm an idiot. Like, yes, I am. Tell me why, though. Don't just say I'm an idiot. Tell me why I'm an idiot. Is it because I also like Boston sports teams? Because I was born and raised in Boston? That could be it. That could be your reason. Is it because I'm nervous about the Brewers right now? That could be it. Because I am nervous about the Brewers right now. I'm still confident, but I'm nervous. Is it because I will be honest, like the NFL, the football is my third favorite sport. And that doesn't make me, that makes me a little bit of an outsider in Wisconsin sometimes, but I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Packers Lions. Like, I don't want this week. I want to fast forward to Sunday, 3:25 right now. That's where I want to be right now for Packers Lions because I am ready for it. And with all that said, again, Camille Davis at 11:40, Jared Fialco at 1. Charlie, how you feeling, my friend?
I'm feeling pretty good. This is a lot of fun. I like being on air with you, Mitch.
I agree.
It's nice to be able to do it now.
It's a blast. I like it. So I like it when you're on. I like it when Tommy's on. I especially like it when the both of you are here together because I feel like then it's like inside jokes piling on thunder, like because you guys got all the inside jokes going on. I know
We
that
see everything, you know.
No, I know we got our first check from YouTube. It was like for 27 cents. So you and Tommy are going to go have like a party.
Big spending,
yeah. Let's go. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know what it was. I'm sure we did well. I know on Friday afternoon we had 979 followers, and Tommy was like, "We got to get to 1,000," and I said, "Say less." And I know Tommy doesn't want to give me credit for it, and I know it's not just me. I know it's all of us here, but I know I put it on all my socials, and I said specifically to my 5,000 friends on Facebook, to my 5,400 followers on Twitter, and my 5,400 followers on my Facebook fan page. And I said, we need 21 people. We need people to step up. We got to get to that number. And by the end of the show, we got to that number.
You came through, Mitch.
So,
That's what it was.
I don't often come through.
You came through this time.
But once in a while, I will step up and get it done. So this is Middays with Thunder here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan. We are in The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and we are here for you. We want to be the voice of the fan. We want to be the voice of the family because the fan means family. Again, Camille Davis at 11:40, Jared Fialco at 1. Let's talk some Brewers. Coming up next, we had to go through yesterday's game. We're going to play Pat Murphy at some point during this game because there is no leadoff show today. So I know Tommy will probably end up playing on the leadoff show tomorrow. But I think so much happened in the game yesterday and in the game Sunday in Toronto that like it was kind of like these two games went together so perfectly in such an imperfect way for the Brewers after playing such great baseball the first 2 days in Toronto that Sunday happened and then Monday happened. We got to dig a little bit deeper into our Milwaukee Brewers, and we will do that next on The Fan. I got to admit, that sounds a little weird. It's going to take me a minute to get used to that. It's Middays with Thunder. Oh, I got to move my camera. I got it. Just give me a wave. The camera likes to follow me out the door. I did go get some water during the break. We're back on YouTube. The camera's working again. I'm here. Juiced Up writes in on the YouTube channel right away. Just a matter of time, bud. I'm here with you, Juiced Up. I am here for you. I'm here with you. And we are here because we are family here on The Fan. It's Middays with Thunder. Charlie Usen is here as well. And I got to say, like, yeoman's work to Charlie, because a lot of this kind of happened last minute last week as we were putting the Open together, and McD did an amazing job of that. He and Sparky put that together and did an amazing job. But then we realized, like, as we started the show, all the things on YouTube were still we're still set up for Stay Fair. Well, I don't know if you know this or not, Charlie, but it's not Stay Fair anymore.
No.
And so Charlie, like, immediately, like, he's wearing short sleeves, but he still rolled up his sleeves, got to work. He was 120 words a minute. Like, you know, he's in the secretary pool, 120 words a minute on the typewriter, on the keyboard. Have you ever used a typewriter?
I have not. No,
Never.
I don't think I'm old enough for a typewriter yet. You know.
So I remember, man, and we'll get to the Brewers in just 1 second. So I grew up with a typewriter, and then I think when I was like in 6th or 7th grade, my mom got an electric typewriter.
Fancy.
Which was still a typewriter, but there was a screen on it, a one-line screen. So you would type one line, but because you could type on that screen, you could delete before having to like use like special whiteout that came with typewriters to delete lines. And you could proofread that one line. You'd hit enter and it would print one line. And then you would type the next line and then it would print the next line.
That sounds highly inefficient.
That's what we used to do, bro. Like that's how Earth used to work.
I'm so glad I'm not old. This is awesome.
Do you think there's any, like, because of how quickly technology has advanced, do you think there's like an alien behind all this that just like how quickly, like for tens of thousands of years, Earth like moved at a certain pace, and then the Industrial Revolution and everything jumped up, and now with like technology and AI and stuff like that, like, is it really possible that this is man-made, or was something planted by an alien to help us along this path?
I don't know if I can say there's aliens involved in it at all, but like as technology gets better, I just think obviously the processes are going to get better, and people are just going to get smarter, understand like the base level of things a lot easier. So now all of a sudden, after you get the base level of things out of the way, it's free game from there.
Nice. All right, I'll take that.
I believe in humanity, Mitch.
I generally do too. I will be honest. I generally believe in humanity, but there's just like, man, things have escalated at such a level, kind of like they did at AmFam Field yesterday. Weird game yesterday at AmFam Field. I was supposed to go. We had a group of 12. We had tickets. Like, I had tickets reserved with my guy at the Brewers, and then all of a sudden he emailed me Sunday and is like, tickets are gone. Game sold out. Like they were reserved, and I was going to buy them on Sunday through him. And I don't know if, like, I feel like whether it was his boss or whatever, like they hit a certain threshold that no one was allowed to hold tickets anymore. And so they were just gone. So then we tried to go to Bayshore. I don't know if you know this or not. Bayshore Mall has like a 75-foot screen. We would have gone to Potawatomi, but we had kids, and kids can't go to the sports book, of course. And so, but we called security because the game wasn't on at 3:00, and we came there and we had made like enchiladas and quesadillas, and we had soup, and we had all this food. We were going to like pretend tailgate out on, there's like a grassy area in the middle of Bayshore, and the game wasn't on. So I called security. They're like, oh yeah, because the mall closes at 5. The game's not on. So we wheelbarrowed. We live 2 blocks away from Bayshore. So we wheelbarrowed everything back to our house. We'll just put the game on our screen and we'll eat. And it ended up working out perfectly. But as we get to my house, I get a call from security because caller ID. And they're like, oh, by the way, we got the game on. I'm like,
That's so bogus. At least you got some good steps in, you know, good workout. There you go.
Definitely got some good steps and a good workout. Yeah, we had to hold, like, I'm carrying the tray of enchiladas, and it has to be like totally balanced or else it's going to spill everywhere. Mrs. Thunder made great enchiladas, but potato and like bean and just delicious.
That does sound good. Your life kind of sounds like a sitcom sometimes, Mitch.
Yeah.
I will say.
I mean, you say that, but I would also argue to someone your age, I'm guessing anyone my age, their life sounds like a sitcom.
Kind of, but carrying a tray of enchiladas down the street sounds pretty sick. I mean, like it's just waiting for you to trip and fall and drop all the enchiladas or something.
I thought about it. I thought about it happening. Phillies top our Brewers yesterday in Milwaukee, 10-8. Abner Uribe with the hard luck loss, and just a weird game. Brewers go up 3-0 in the first. Feeling really good. Terang leads off. So it's Bryce Terang, who we absolutely love here. And the Mason Crosby show, obviously, Tommy has a crush on Bryce Terang. And I've actually loved Bryce Terang since last year also. So, like, I know Tommy gets all the credit, but I also am a huge Bryce Terang fan. I think Bryce Terang and Sal Perkins have to switch order because I think at the rate that Bryce Terang is hitting for power, I don't want any more leadoff home runs because there's no one on base. You can't when you lead off a game, you can't hit a home run with more than just you, right? But if you're batting fifth or sixth, more often there are people on base as opposed to when you're batting first and you're batting behind 7, 8, and 9.
At the same time, though, he feels like a player that feeds off of getting that confidence of being earlier in the lineup and higher up in the lineup, and you've seen him kind of feed off that. So does
Sal.
Yeah,
so does Sal.
But Sal doesn't do it with the same kind of power. And I think,
but that's why I like Sal leading off and Bryce in the middle of the order.
I know, but I think when you move Bryce down, I don't know if he has that same kind of confidence, if I'm being honest. We've seen him, again, moved up into this spot earlier in the lineup, and it has helped him kind of, again, just unlock that kind of free swinging style of play, which I think he doesn't have when you do have players on base. I think he takes a more conservative approach when he has other runners on base. When he doesn't have that, he's just swinging for the fences, and it's worked. I think Sal Frelick constantly takes that conservative approach, which, yes, fits into that leadoff spot role a little bit more. But I would say that because you have Bryce Terang hitting as well as he is at the top of that lineup, maybe you move a Sal Frelick to second in the order then to get somebody else on base in front of a William Contreras, in front of a Jackson Chourio who's on fire since he came back. Yep. I mean, there's other options there, but right now I don't feel like you can move Bryce Terang from that leadoff spot. All right,
so to be continued. The Brewers go up 3-0. Blake Perkins with a double drives in Yelich and Contreras. Mizorowski gets some 1-2-3. Durbin homers in the second. Mizorowski gives up a single, but then gets a double play. So he's faced the minimum he faced 10 guys. In the first inning, he did give up a 2-out single. So through 3 innings, he's faced 10 hitters. He's given up 2 hits, but nothing's hurt. In the 4th inning, he does give up a homer to Bryce Harper. No big deal. It's 4-1. The Brewers then come back. Chourio hits a sac fly, gets a run in. It's 5-1 after 4. All right. I don't know what the numbers are in 4-run leads after 4 innings, but I have to imagine for the Brewers, the win percentage is over 90%, maybe well over it, maybe 99%, maybe 98, maybe 97, probably 97. Let's give him 97. But at 5-1 through 4, I think one of the issues we're having as Brewers fans is we are relaxing. And I'm sure the team isn't relaxing. I don't think the players relax, but it's kind of like an NBA game. When you get a big lead in the 3rd quarter and you take your foot off the gas just for 1 second. How often do we see double-digit leads in the 3rd quarter? Not the 1st quarter where there's time to come back, but like 6 minutes left in the 3rd. So you got a quarter and a half left of the game. You're up by 16. You take your foot off the gas for 20 seconds, and the other team scores 5 in a row, and all of a sudden you got a game. And I feel like the Brewers had that happen to them twice against Arizona. Now, they ended up winning those games against Arizona. They lost other games against Arizona, but twice they had big leads against Arizona, and twice they gave them up. A weird game Sunday against the Blue Jays, and then another weird game yesterday against the Philadelphia Phillies. Again, a team that they are fighting for first place overall in the National League, a team that is well ahead of the Mets right now in the NL East, but still want to make sure they hold on to that number 1 seed, a team that absolutely is fighting for a bye with whether it's the Brewers or the Dodgers or the Cubs in that in the National League. So the top of the 5th comes, and Mizorowski starts with a walk. And I'm going to fast forward to the top of the 9th. where Kyle Schwarber starts with a walk. Charlie, I think you know where I'm going to go here, but I'm going to say it out loud anyway. Do you know what I hate almost more than anything?
What's
like
that?
The thing I hate more than anything is like mean people. Like when somebody's mean for no reason. I hate that. I hate mean people. But you know what I really hate in the world of sports?
What's that?
Giving up leadoff walks.
Yeah, I can understand it. Do you hate that more than ending a game if you're the last batter on a called strike? A called strike. Is that worse than a leadoff walk?
I think a leadoff walk is worse.
Okay.
Because sometimes you just get fooled on a pitch. Like I do not. I hate looking at strike three anytime. I hate looking at strike three anytime. But I feel like that's going to happen. I feel like you gotta figure out a way to make. Listen, if the guy leading off is going to get a hit and he's going to beat you, he's going to beat you, right? He's going to beat you. That's going to happen. But to give them the base, which Mizorowski did in the 5th and Uribe did in the 9th. And I know Uribe did it against Schwarber, and you don't want to give up a home run there, and you got to be a little more careful there. But I hate it so much. 414-677-1250. I just need one person to text in and tell me that they agree with me, that they are vexed by a leadoff walk, because it just blows my mind. I cannot stand it. TNP Walkie does text in to the Nikolai Law Fan Talking text line. Sal was leading off during most of the streak, most of both the streaks. And that, you know what? That's something to look at. I think there is something to look at. Not just Sal and Bryce's numbers leading off, but also the team win-loss percentage when leading off. How do I figure that? Like, I know when I do like game breakdown or when I do splits, I can see what guys are, but I wonder if you can do win percentage. If there's a way to do that. If not, I might actually have to sit down in front of a computer tonight and do some work late night while I'm listening to Bart Winkler do his thing. Q writes in on the YouTube channel, thank you for providing a local alternative to Little Unit. I didn't even know Little Unit existed anymore, by the way. And what I do love, actually I have an announcement at noon. I'm going to make another announcement at noon that I'm really excited about. So everybody who's listening, make sure you are listening at noon as well, because I have something fun to share. It's not an announcement, it's a share. You know, somebody says they have a good story for you, and then they tell you like one thing, and you're like, dude, that wasn't a story, that was a share. I don't have an announcement or a story. I just have a share at noon that I'm excited that is going to be part of the noon hour every day here on Middays with Thunder, our brand new show that you're listening to here on The Fan. But Mizorowski walk, then gives up a single, so it's first and second, then gets Staunton a fielder's choice, but then Trey Turner triples, and it's 5-3. Ashby comes in, and Ashby gets a couple outs, and that's the end of the inning. But it's 5-3. And now 5-3 doesn't feel as good. 5-1 felt good. 5-3. And I think another thing we need to start looking at is Mizorowski that third time through the order. Now, this was at the bottom. This was at the bottom of the order the second time through. This was Kepler, Sosa, and Stott. And it was only Turner, who's a leadoff hitter, who got to face him for a third time, because then Ashby came in to face Schwarber and Harper. But I don't know if there's a 4-inning number for Mizorowski. I don't know if there's a pitch number for Mizorowski. But walk, single, fielder's choice, triple, end of the day. I also don't know if like Mizorowski should stay in and like battle through that. Because Andy Ashby came in and he faces Schwarber and 7-pitch at bat, but gets him to strikeout looking. Then Bryce Harper, a 2-out, Andy Ashby is there for 9 pitches, gets out the 2 lefties. And then Nick Mears comes in the 6th and really pours gas onto it. Really pours gas on the fire. Gives up 3 runs, a Harrison Bader double, a Kepler sac fly, and a Sosa sac fly. And all of a sudden, you're through 6. And then the Brewers do get one back. Durbin, they got an error by Stott, the second baseman, to tie it at 6 after 6. But now you're in this crazy dogfight. A game that you were up 5-1 after 4, now you're tied 6-6 after 6, and you're in a dogfight.
which is usually the position the Milwaukee Brewers are going into in a lot of these games. They'll
They
start
put other teams, yeah.
right. They'll start down 5-1, and then all of a sudden, in one inning, Christian Yelich hits a home run, and then William Contreras hits a home run, or Jackson Churio, like the other day, comes out and hits a home run. Christian Yelich fouls it up right away, and all of a sudden, it's an even game again.
Yep.
That's what the Brewers do best. And I talked about this when they were making mistakes a couple weeks ago too on the defensive side of the ball, which they were still doing this weekend as well. When they were making mistakes, it seemed like it freaked them out that they were the ones making the mistakes, not the other team. And then when the other team did make mistakes as well, they were trying too hard to make something out of those.
Yep.
And it ended up poorly for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Correct.
I think you can see that sometimes too when they're winning by a lot and all of a sudden another team starts fighting back. It's like, oh crap, we aren't usually in this situation. That's usually us. What do we do now?
Yeah. And I think that, it's that is absolutely when we talk about the Brewers make you play baseball, right? They make you play 27 outs. And even, the struggles with the Giants and the struggles with the Diamondbacks, then they go to Toronto and win 2 in a row and look really good. And then the last 2 games has just been like kind of weird. And maybe they just need today. Maybe they just need that 19 games in 18 days. Maybe they just need that day off today. We got more Brewers talk coming up later in the show, but Camille Davis, Locked on Bucks podcast, all sorts of Packers podcasting. She does a little WWE talk. I know some of you aren't into WWE, but I am, and we might do a little, talk, a little discussion here and there. We might mention that WWE exists. They have a new deal with ESPN. They have a new deal with Netflix, and they're coming to Milwaukee on Monday. Monday Night Raw is here in Milwaukee, and it's going to be an absolute blast. I cannot wait for it. I'm taking Big Rumble, Little Rumble, and then a good friend of the family as well, and we will be there. So maybe we'll touch on that for a second with Camille as well. Camille Davis coming up next here. It's Middays with Thunder, and I'm going to apologize in advance if I say Wisconsin Sports Daily or if I say the Mason Crosby Show, or if I've been on all the shows, so I'm used to saying whatever I say. But this is our brand new show, programming announcement, Middays with Thunder, right here on The Fan. Our studios are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. That's right. Brand new programming alert. Middays. Not just Thursdays, every day. Today's Tuesday. Middays with Thunder. I got my THs mixed up. Middays with Thunder, 11 to 2, Monday through Friday. Yes, that national guy who's a Michigan fan who talks to all his Hollywood friends. We're not here for his Hollywood friends. We are here to be family and to talk about Wisconsin sports. That's what we do. Speaking of being family, visit Sparky tomorrow. He will be at the Milwaukee Broad House right there on MLK, downtown Milwaukee, right by, right on 3rd Street, MLK, downtown near the Deer District, the Milwaukee Broad House. Sparky will be there tomorrow from 2 until 5. Let's get this music keyed up. I apologize immediately to those of you on YouTube who can't hear the music because federal law prohibits us from playing music over YouTube from time to time. But the theme music, for those of you who don't know, is When Doves Cry by Prince, because she is a Prince fan. She is one of our besties here on the fan, and she is the inaugural guest, the first guest on Middays with Thunder. Camille Davis is in the house. Camille, how are you?
Man, I feel special. I was already having a good day. Like, we had Labor Day yesterday, had some family time. The weather is good. And now I'm the inaugural guest on Middays with Thunder. Like, I'm feeling good about myself right now.
Well, it is my pleasure and honor to have you on the show. I'm so excited you could be here. And as we get closer and closer to Packer season, I know we've got all sorts of things to discuss, and we always have, and you and I always go on tangents as well, which is totally fine. But first, tell us about the new podcast that's going on that was just announced, I think, like last week or 2 weeks ago. Tell us about some of the new things that you're involved in.
Yeah, so everybody knows, I think, I should say everybody, most people know, if you know me, you know I do work with Pack a Day podcast, so continuing that work, and from working with Pack a Day, I do the audio side every Monday with Dan Kotnick and Monty Moore, and it's just a fantastic group. So Monty, myself, and Dan, we're doing a new podcast for Cheesehead TV. It's coming out every Thursday weekly throughout the season, talking Packers football. It is titled Ahead of the Pack. So
is there a focus? Is there like something you're focused on specifically with it?
Yeah, so with this one, because me, Monty, and Dan do normally post-game shows for Pack a Day, this one is going to be more of like a preview for the next opponent for the Packers coming up. A little bit of fun, making some predictions that you might not hear from other shows as well. So looking to have some fun while previewing Packers opponents.
And what's it called one more time?
Ahead of the Pack.
Ahead of the Pack. I love it. And you're still going to be doing the other stuff with Pack a Day and with Locked On Bucks and all that sort of stuff too, right?
Still busy, still doing Pack a Day, still doing Locked On Bucks, Technical File podcast. It's all still happening, just adding on Ahead of the Pack with it as well.
I love it. So exciting. So Camille joining us, Camille Davis, is on Middays with Thunder. And I'm looking at my watch. I don't wear a watch. I'm looking at my watch. It's Tuesday. I feel like Sunday can't get here fast enough. Like I wasn't excited. Like, and yeah, Micah Parsons is like part of it, but I don't think it's like, I think we needed to get through Labor Day weekend. We needed to get through the first weekend of college football, which I'm not a big college football guy. I mean, I watch all the games, but I'm not a huge fan at all. Like I have them on in the background. I'm not sitting down and watching pretty much any game except for the Badgers, maybe. But literally we got to last night. And last night I started thinking about, oh my gosh, tomorrow's Tuesday of Packers game week. And I started like, I was bouncing around. I couldn't sit still. And I still feel that way. Like, Camille, I am so excited for this week.
Me too, for a lot of reasons, not just the fact that it's football coming back, which of course that's excitement, but the Packers are actually opening up the season at home, which we have not done under Matt LaFleur. Like what? The first time under the Matt LaFleur era. So doing that against the Lions at home, a team that for years the Packers would beat up on the Lions, but the Lions have won 6 of the last 7 games, including 3 in a row at Lambeau. So like, if as much stakes as you can have in a week 1 game that also happens to be a divisional game, like this is one of those games that has it all.
Yeah, it really does. And so, as much as I want to get to Sunday, we have days before Sunday. And certainly one of the big storylines yesterday was Micah Parsons. And like, is there a back situation? Media only gets to be a part of the practice. So as we're watching, our friend Andy Herman, or we're watching other reporters who are, can only see the individual stuff. They weren't allowed to be there for the team stuff. It feels like, is he getting an epidural shot with that anti-inflammatory? Like, what does that mean? And so what are your thoughts about where Micah Parsons is today? What do you expect his involvement to be come Sunday?
A little anxious. You don't want to hear about back injuries generally for any type of player, but especially a pass rusher. Use a lot of your back in that torque when you're going up against opposing offensive linemen. So a little like anxious, maybe a little nervous about it. But again, understanding that this is a marathon, so to speak, not a sprint. Like if Micah Parsons on Sunday only plays 20 snaps, I won't be upset, because the long game is important. Like, of just remembering, like, we have a long season ahead of us. We have to make sure we pace ourselves, and we don't want to put him in the game where he can be in a position to hurt himself, no matter how extravagant and outstanding the talent might be for him.
So I agree with you, and I disagree with you, and because I'm like, I see the two different sides of this. Like, I want Micah Parsons to make an impact. And if he's hurt or if something's going on, I do want to play the long game. But I also, and you realize this too, how important one game against Detroit really is in this division. I mean, if you're looking at teams that have aspirations to go 13-4, 12-5, whatever it might be, and compete for the division championship, yes, it's only week one, but this game matters. And if Micah Parsons is limited, I am a little nervous that the Packers come into this game a little undermanned, and as much as I don't want to be undermanned, if you're playing the Titans or the Dolphins or the Browns or whoever, I really don't want to be undermanned coming in playing the Lions, right?
Right. Like I said, the Lions have gotten the better of the Packers over the last few seasons, and that's just the facts of the matter. Like, you want to see Micah Parsons in this game, and on the other side, I'm like, Aiden Hutchinson, who missed most of last year with his injury. How does he look when he comes back? And this could be a game where you're expecting to see a lot from Hutchinson. You're expecting to see Micah Parsons. We mentioned this on Pack-A-Day this week, but this could very well be a game where the run game is actually the most pronounced part of what you see here, with Jamar Gibbs and David Montgomery on the Detroit side, with Josh Jacobs and crew on the Packers side of just establishing the run and going there for it, trying to put as many blinders as you can on those pass rushers by taking away those opportunities. So I'll be curious to see what the game plan looks like for him. And again, like I said, I do want to see Micah Parsons. This is a big game. The NFL doing a divisional game to open the season puts a lot of stakes on it. But again, long game for me. I think when the Bears traded for Khalil Mack, I think he played 42 snaps in his first game with the Bears against the Packers, ironically enough. I would probably guess.
I believe he had a pick under. I believe he had a pick six in that game. Did he not?
We don't need to talk all the details of what happened.
You're right. You're right.
We're talking about the snaps. Right. So I mean, honestly, for Micah, I would probably think he gets under like 40.
Yeah.
If 40 was the bar, I'll probably say he's under that.
Okay. Well, you took us to our next conversation point as well, beyond Micah Parsons. Camille Davis at Camille Monet on Twitter joining us here. Middays with Thunder on the Fan. Our studio is powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Is kind of, bigger than Micah Parsons' game plan as these two teams do face off. And we kind of saw the explosion of Jahmyr Gibbs last year once David Montgomery got hurt. And they had been a very effective two-headed monster. And then Jahmyr Gibbs was even better when it was just him. And then, of course, with what Josh Jacobs was able to bring, as much as, and listen, we can say this forever, we still love Aaron Jones. Like, even though he's wearing purple, like, he's one of the best guys to wear a Packers uniform in terms of community involvement, in terms of all the impact he made. But Josh Jacobs took that position to another level for the Green Bay Packers. This really is, with Jacobs and Gibbs, two of the premier running backs in the league. How you touched on it a little bit, but really how important is getting the running game going to both these teams going to be in week 1?
Oh, it's so important. Like that's like football 101. It feels like, of like how important the run game is, because you can do so many other actions off of that. And we know for Jordan Love, for the Packers side of things, we're thinking about the rush game for them. Like, he's dealt with the thumb injury, so he hasn't been able to practice as fully as we were hoping for over the last few weeks. There could be some, timing things with him and the receivers getting on the same page. We saw last year at the pass game, the drops with receivers from time to time as well, led the league in that. So I am curious to see how the pass game goes, but the run game can help them out so much. We already know Matt LaFleur loves running a lot of plays out of the same looks and just changing up what you actually see. So again, if you can get Jacobs going early and putting that pressure on the defense, where now you're starting to see loaded boxes, and now it's even easier to get those passes out for Jordan Love. Like, that's what I want to see, because outside of Love and Micah Parsons and everything like that, I want to see Matthew Golden. I want to see Golden get some love.
Because we talked about that when you visited State Fair, is how excited we both were for Matthew Golden. And all the pictures from practice yesterday, they were all of number 1. I don't know if I saw any pictures of number 0. I want to see how that number 0 looks on Matthew Golden.
Well, today they actually were doing their pictures, so you saw for the first time.
I haven't seen those yet. I gotta check. I gotta check my Twitterverse.
Your mind's gonna explode when you see the picture of Golden next to Parsons. You're gonna be like, "This is crazy that we have a first round wide receiver."
They have like Parsons and Golden and then Love. So like 1-0-1-0. Like that. They got to get that picture.
They do. It's perfect, and it'll look so good with the Lombardi Trophy just being held up at the end of the season. Like,
from your mouth to God's ears, Camille.
We hoping.
Yes, we are. But I'm excited to see what Matthew Golden can do. And listen, as a football fan, I actually really like Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I really like Jameson Williams. Like, I think they are a great 1-2 punch. I just hope they don't do well this Sunday. But in terms of offense, like, that's what we want to see on our side too. And hopefully Matthew Golden and whoever, if Reed can go, or if he can go, or if Dobbs is ready to step up, or whatever Wicks ends up doing, it'll be, I think we're all ready to stop talking about the wide receiver room and just see it on the field.
Yeah, let's start seeing it. And we know how week 1 goes. A lot of the overreactions of basing a whole entire season off the one thing you saw. Like, I think it is important to keep in mind too, like, the context. Like, it is one game. All the games are very important. It's not the NBA. It's not MLB, where you're playing so many games. You're not playing 82. You're not playing 160 some games. There are 17. So there is a level of pressure with it, but 1 week does not a team make. So I think it's important to keep that in context, whether Matthew Golden looks outstanding or he looks like a rookie. Like, we have to kind of keep that in mind too, I think, with the excitement levels that we have heading into the game.
Absolutely. Camille Davis joining us here on Middays with Thunder. Quick question we got to ask about Thanasis. The Bucs signed Thanasis last week. And so it's easy to pile on Shams, right? Sean's charting it, and it's like, and he I think in general he does a really good job. I think he's completely off his rocker and doesn't do his due diligence at all when it comes to Giannis. I think he just does what the higher ups at ESPN have told him to do, and that's to like be a muckraker, and that's to cause chaos and get clickbait and all that sort of crap that he does with Giannis rumors. Because the tweet that he sent out, Bucs signed Thanasis. Now it looks like Giannis will stay with the Bucs this year. Dude was never leaving. Shams, you're an idiot. But Thanasis is back. Like, does that move any needles for anybody?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think one of the Shams thing, my co-host on Locked On Bucs, Justin Garcia, I think he had a great point this morning on our show about it, where he said that, I do think Shams is hearing this from somewhere. Yeah. But whether that's from Giannis's camp, that's doubtful. We know Giannis's camp is very close-knit, very tight. It's very hard to know what he's doing. So I always look at the things that come out about Giannis and how it's positioned as like, who benefits from this coming out? Who is trying to do something? Like, Giannis is a hot commodity. Everybody wants him in the league. So like, some of the reports, I'm like, I wonder if this is other teams kind of wish hoping and like, we got to get him out of Milwaukee. We want him over here.
Can I use that? Like, I like that. Wish hoping. Yep. That's
what I think it is a lot of times. But for Thanasis re-signing with Milwaukee on a guaranteed deal at that, unlike Andre Jackson Jr., unlike Amir Coffey, this is a guaranteed deal for the Thanasis. And I've been one of those people who's never cared about the Thanasis being on the roster. Like some people have such consternation over like he's wasting a roster spot.
Dude, spot number 15, relax.
Right,
spot number 15 doesn't matter.
And I think
go ahead.
Everybody who's been in a job, like you've gone to a job before where there's someone who you work with and their personality is volatile, where you don't know who you're going to get that day. And that can make a work environment really uncomfortable because you don't know what you're walking into day after day. The Thanasis is consistent. The energy he brings is consistent. He is a good teammate consistently. And what more can you ask for from an end of the bench player besides that consistency, that positivity, that energy? Oh, and by the way, he's the brother of your superstar. So, like, if it keeps him happy in Milwaukee, you do it. I'd sign all the brothers if it means Giannis is here forever.
I actually was wondering, like, is Kostas better than Thanasis? Like, would he be a better fit? Like, when they needed a backup center, when they were talking about that, like, would he be a fit on this team as like a true 6'11", 7-footer? Camille Davis joining us here, the inaugural guest on Middays with Thunder. And so we'll leave you with Raw is coming on Monday. Are you going?
I'm trying to. I still haven't gotten my tickets, but I'm trying to get in the door.
Okay, fair. And what they just had their big, they were just in Paris for the weekend, and we saw Becky protect her hot husband, Seth. What thoughts, if any, do you have on the world title chase, or like, and I will say it was good to see Big Jim Uso come to his brother's defense.
I hope that this means that AJ Lee is on her way back to the WWE.
So she's got to show up Friday in Chicago. I mean, CM Punk literally said to Adam Pearce that he's got something. It's got to be AJ Lee, right?
And if it's not, the disappointment levels are going to be so high because Seth and Becky against Punk and AJ Lee would be box office. Like, I got to see it.
Yeah. No doubt. And for those of you who did listen to the show that was on these airwaves before Middays with Thunder, you know that Seth Rollins was a guest host playing up his fake ACL tear. He's a great actor. You got to give him that. He did not break character. That's for sure. Camille, thank you so much for jumping on today. We definitely are going to make this a regular spot. And as we talk Packers, Bucks, WWE, and anything else that's on your mind.
Love it. Cannot wait to be back.
Awesome. Thank you so much. She is Camille Davis. Follow her on Twitter at Camille Monet. Listen to her podcast. She's part of Pack-A-Day. She's now part of Cheesehead TV as well, and Locked On Bucks with friend of show Justin Garcia. So Camille Davis is everywhere doing awesome work out there. In the 12 o'clock hour, we still have more Brewers to get to. We didn't finish the Brewers conversation from the first hour. Obviously, we've got Packers stuff to get to. We got to get to Rasheed Walker. We've got sound from Rasheed Walker kind of dropping a bomb on everybody yesterday at practice. That was great. Jared Fialco, who is WISN Channel 12. He is a sports reporter there. He's going to jump on at 1 o'clock. Great first hour, everybody. Thanks for being part of it. Thanks for being part of the family here on Middays with Thunder. Thanks for being part of the family here with the Fan. Things are just getting bigger. Things are just getting better. And we are here for the ride. You are here for the ride. And we're on this ride together as one big family. My name is Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. The Fan Studio is powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. More Middays with Thunder next.